All right, welcome everybody to tonight's Thursday plan showing training. Live interactive, I should call it, the plan showing training. Don Martin here. I'm excited to have you all on here because tonight we're going to talk about how to draw out the plan, or what I like to sketch out the plan, or show the plan with a pen and pad. Now, obviously, I do have a whiteboard behind me. This is just to make the plan bigger. But obviously this is intended for you to see how you would normally or ordinarily sketch out the plan on a legal pad. Now, I always prefer a legal pad that's a graph paper legal pad, but I can show it on anything. I could show it on a napkin. I could show it on a regular piece of paper on the back of a dollar bill if I had to, if I didn't want to get in trouble, but I could do it on anything. Because I understand how to sketch it out. And that's the reason why we're going to talk about how to sketch it out the plan tonight. If this doesn't mean that you're ever going to have to go out and sketch it out to people when you're presenting it, because we do have great tools like PowerPoint presentations and flip charts and videos and all that kind of stuff. However, to me, I actually prefer to draw it out when I have the opportunity, when I'm in person with people, because there's some psychological benefits when you're drawing something out that make people understand things a little better than when they, Haley came to say hello. You want to say hi to my friends? Yeah. No. What happened? Oh, I think she'll let you. Go ask her to have a turn. Have a good day. Reese said no turn for her on the video game. That's not good. So anyway, let me keep going here. Let's do this. Lock. Okay, there we go. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Anyway, Jack, don't shake your head. Don't be judging. There's no judgment zone today. But some of the benefits of showing the plan by sketching it out are this. Number one, with a PowerPoint. Now, don't get me wrong. There's no wrong way to show the plan. They are all effective. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. So showing the plan is all about getting people to evaluate the business. However, what I found is this. Two major benefits that I see about showing the plan by sketching it out, really three major benefits that I see by showing a plan by sketching it out instead of the other tools. Number one, it's the best way to practice. That's a first and foremost. It's the absolute best way to practice. Because if you can learn how to show the plan, sketching it out, right, with a pen and pad, you can show it anyway. Any way on the world you can show it if you can show it if you can do it by sketching it out. So that's the first thing. And you want to learn how to sketch it out, and that's what we're going to do tonight. The second thing is when you learn how to show it by sketching it out, you get it. Meaning you understand to the core what makes this work. Whereas if you're just using a flip chart or a PowerPoint, that flip chart or PowerPoint is actually a crutch for you to help you show it. But at the same time, sometimes you don't understand the whole thing because you didn't have to explain it. You have that crutch or that support system on there. Yes, it helps you show it faster, but it also sometimes prevents people from understanding the entire business plan because they haven't learned how to sketch it out of their mind onto a piece of paper. That's another benefit. A third benefit of sketching it out is that you can also keep people's attention better. Here's why. How many of you have noticed if you've ever had a PowerPoint up or if you had a flip chart that you're using, when you're talking to somebody about line 1, they're already looking at line 3. You know what I'm saying? They're reading ahead of you, and when they're reading ahead of you, that means their attention, they're having a think gap, I like to call it. Their attention is not focused on what you're saying, but sometimes we get distracted by what we see and we don't pay attention to what we're hearing at the same time. When you sketch it out, when you're sharing it with people, they can't read ahead of you because you're writing what you're saying. And another benefit is, think of this. How many of you ever realize that when you have a pen and a point of a pen, human beings can't help but to follow what the tip of a pen is about to do? Right? And in fact, a lot of marketing companies are actually using that in videos that they create, right? To do that. They're actually using, you guys have seen the YouTube videos where it's like they really fast draw something or sketch something and you can't help yourself but be sucked in because you're watching the tip of the pen. That's some of the many real benefits of knowing how to sketch it out. But to me, oh, another way is if somebody asks you questions, and you're in the middle of a conversation, or you're at a follow-up, or somebody wants to see the plan right away, and you don't have your computer with you or a flip chart. You're armed and dangerous to sit down and show it to them right away, and you can get through it. Another thing is you can do as much or as little of the plan as you want because you control what you write down. Whereas if you have a PowerPoint or a flip chart, you have to highlight every single thing that's in there, because if you don't, they're going to ask about it anyway, right? And sometimes you might want to just simply adjust a plan presentation to the person, right, that you're talking to, so it relates to them most. You can custom design our business is very customizable around different people's frames of reference, right? And that's another benefit of drawing out. But anyway, I'm going to give you guys the generic, or not generic, but the general. I'm going to get down a little bit here. And move my chair, kind of hands and knees here, but because I have to make this work. The general prospectus on how I sketch out the plan. Now, my number for if you're on here, the first thing I want you to do right now, if you didn't already, is grab yourself a piece of paper and notepad or whatever it might be, and get ready. Because the best way to learn how to do this is by doing it. So I want you to do it alongside of me the whole time. Now, the first thing I want you to do is when I take your piece of paper. Now, this is just so you have it. You'll get the feel for this as you do it. You want to split this into 4 parts. However, when you do the 4 parts, I would probably say I would split it just below halfway, not quite right at the middle halfway, but just below halfway would be the first one, as you can see there, just below halfway. So it's a little further than halfway down. And then I'm going to split these next top ones into 2 more. So I want 4 parts, but my 4th part is going to be just under half of the sheet, right? You know what I mean? And you'll get the feel. So then I'm just going to take this, and then obviously you can fold it to do this, but I'm going to split it into something like that, as you guys can see. Can you kind of see that? You know, 4 parts with the bottom being the largest. Now, I typically won't do that up front when I'm presenting it. I just want you guys to do that now so you can see what it's going to look like. You'll get the feel as you practice this, because on your notepad, here's my challenge for you guys. Here's the one thing I know. A common denominator of all successful 6-figure earning unfranchised owners. They all know how to sketch out the plan, and they do it a lot. And they practiced by doing it a lot. And they also can grab a piece of paper and just answer questions in about a 15, 20-minute segment by drawing it out with people at any given time that they need to. They can roll with it. You know what I'm saying? Roll Tide, right, Terrence? But they can roll with it, right? And that's how it works. So that's exactly what you want. So that's what you'll look like here from a setup perspective, right? You can kind of see 4 parts with the bottom being just not quite half the page. Like, you know, you get the idea, right? So when I sit down with people, I tell them there's going to be 4 parts of this presentation. And by the way I showed the plan one-on-one is the same way with the PowerPoint. Number 1, the background and history of the company. Second thing, the 3 ways we earn, a 40,000-foot view of it. Third thing is what we're not, because a lot of people have preconceived notions, so I'm going to kind of squash that so you understand what we are and what we aren't. And then the last part is the financial side of what we do, the numbers, okay? So this is how I do it, so you guys know how to do the setup. We're going to keep it really, really simple, right? So I'm going to get on, and that obviously this is the thing. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here. We'll say so, and I'm also going to, by the way, I'm also going to tell my story as of how I got invited and involved and what it's done for me. That's so important. Share your story and your experience so far. And also, if you're not where you want to be, right, because you're newer, tell them where it's taking you. So people want to be a part of something where people know where they're going. People don't want to be a part of something where people are mealy-mouthed and are not really sure. Well, if you do it, maybe I'll make some money. No. You know, it's got to be like, hey, listen, I'm so excited because with this business, I know that I want to go in the right place. I know I want to go in the right direction, right? So anyway, so you tell your background. All right, so enough about me. Let's talk about the business. 4 parts. I tell them the different 4 parts. First part is a background of the company. So what I typically do, by the way, I always have 2 colors. The pens. So I have a black pen and a green pen. In this situation, I'm using a black marker and a green marker. But this is always drawn down with people. So first thing I do is up here, and I write background. Now, obviously, I'm going to do this fast because you're not going to be able to read it as I'm just telling you. That's why I want you to do it along with me. You're probably not going to be able to see it very well, but I just want you to get the feel of it and write it in while I'm doing it. So I write background and I put a line underneath it, right? I'm just telling you exactly how I do it. Background. Name of the company. Name of the company. And I do this, Market America Shop.com, right? MarketAmericaShop.com, right? 28-year-old company, right? Company, this is 28-year-old company. Company's done over $9 billion in business over 28 years with over $5 billion paid out to people like you and I. Okay? So, MarketAmericaShop.com, 28-year-old company, $9 billion total business paid out. A total business company is that with over $5 billion paid out to people like you and I, right? Gives you an idea. More than 50% of all revenue generated. We're an A+ Better Business Bureau rated company, right? And we won a Torch Award for Marketplace Ethics in both 2013 and 2018. The Trust Performance Integrity Award. You can look that up if you need to, right? At the end of this presentation, I'm going to send you a link to a video that'll give you all the credibility of the company. You can hear about you can hear the president of Better Business Bureau talk about the company and what we do. Let's set ourselves aside. A+ Better Business Bureau, Torch Award 2013. Remember, I'm talking about this. I'm just writing stuff down for reference point, but it doesn't have to be explained. I'm just hitting the points. You guys get it, right? And then the last part is we are what's called a product and service broker. Product and service broker, right? Meaning we don't manufacture anything. We just offer products and services from the highest quality, best of the best, whatever, right? So that's that. Now, we have 2 categories of products and services. Exclusive and partner or affiliate stores. I'll explain to you what each one of those means in a second. But the exclusive products are things that are only available through us. We have over 12 different exclusive, we represent 12 different exclusive markets, different industries, health and wellness, and you can go into detail here if you want, health, nutrition, wellness. And if you're sitting with someone, right, who their job or career is really relates to a product or service, really spend some time on there. You can even get into detail at this point and explain some of the products. Maybe even give them a sample to try. Maybe tell them what makes those products different from the exclusive standpoint. You can elaborate as much as you want here, right? That's a neat thing about this. There's nothing guiding you. You got some free will, right? Exclusive product from 12 different industries. The reason why that's powerful is because as a broker, we only offer the best. As a broker, we don't manufacture anything. We only offer the best in the marketplace, bar none. We're not biased. And the last part is we also have partner stores, over 2,000 to 3,000 partner stores. And those partner stores are products and services, are products and services that come from the partner stores like Walmart, Target, Nordstrom, J.Crew, Barnes & Noble, over 3,000 partners and partner stores and partners and services. So that's that. And anytime we or any of our partners or any of our customers buy from any of our exclusive products or our partner stores, we earn commissions, right? And I'll talk to you in detail on how that works in a second. But that's the background. Do you guys see how quick that was? Background. Awesome. Now, I take my other color and I split it right there. This is where I already showed you guys how to split it, but I'm just going to split it in half just to separate that. Right? That's the first part. By the way, when you do a separational thing, they realize it's going a little faster and smoother too. Okay, well, part 1's done, right? Now, second area, and that's background, right? I'm not missing anything, right, Gina?
The only thing that you could add if you wanted to was that we're global, that we're a global company.
Yeah, you can put the countries that we're in, United States, Canada,
Yeah.
Australia. That's true. You can also add it here if you want. And it doesn't matter. We're in 9 different countries, U.S., Canada, Australia, UK, but it's up to you. I do that sometimes I don't. It's one of those, it depends if it matters, right? But it's up to you. It's a great thing. Here's the best part about drawing it out. If you forget something, they don't know because they never saw it before, So, that's what it's all about. So that's it. That's your top part. Now, part 2. How we earn. So I just put the word earn and underline it. All right, how we earn. Now, we earn money in our business 3 ways, okay? First way we make money is retail profit. I just do a little number side. Retail profit. On average, we earn about 30 to 50% of everything we sell as a gross retail profit. Every product and service has a retail profit, and on average, everything we sell from our exclusive products, the things that are only ours, we make an average of 30 to 50%. We do have some, which you can even put over here, that can be upwards to 300% or more that are customizable. And I really spend time on this if they're a cosmetic or skincare, customized product. 300%, right? Or more, in certain categories that have higher profit margins. That's the first way to make money. Now, and I always highlight here is this. The people that earn those retail profits, they don't have to split those with anybody. So all those retail profits are theirs. Now, a lot of times if I have a sample, I'll use it as an example, okay? So this is a good example, our number 1 product, OPC. This costs us a 90-day supply, costs $77 a retail price, $77. My wholesale is about $53, $54. I make $23, $24 retail profit every time I sell this, and that's not split with anybody. That's the retail profit. That's not split with anybody. No percentages, no levels. This is not one of those things. That's one of those the first opportunity that I have to tell people that we're different, right there. This is not one of those things, percentage levels. This is not one of those. That's not split with anybody. This is all my retail profit. First way to make money. Unlimited on how much earnings you can make through retail profit when you either sell it directly to somebody or through a store. Wholesale, retail. Now, the second way we make money, number 2, is volume-based commissions. Volume-based commissions. Now, volume-based commissions are earned whenever I or anybody in the entire team that I'm connected with makes a sale for any product or service. Remember, whoever makes a retail sale gets all the retail profit themselves. But there's a second margin that every single product has, it, not only in our business, in any business. And that's the marketing and distribution margin. Every product not only has retail profit to pay the person who sells it, but it also has a marketing and distribution margin that's rolled into the wholesale price of the product, so the companies can take that money and allocate it towards marketing and distribution costs. Things like radio ads, TV commercials, billboards, Facebook ads, Google ads, right? Every product has those. In our business, since we're the entire marketing and distribution arm, they don't spend that money on all those marketing margin, or on all those marketing costs. They pay that to us in volume-based commissions instead. Isn't that brilliant? Volume-based commission, you see? And that's what that is. So in this particular product, costs us $53. We get about 43.5 BV for that. Now remember, that's volume-based commissions, not only off of my sales, so personal sales, but also and team sales as well. And that's at 100%, which I'll share with you later. You just drop some little things in there. That's at 100%. I'll show that to you later. Again, it's not a tiered percentage and levels game. This is completely different. It's just a powerful tracking system. That's the second way to make money. Volume-based commissions off of what I sell, and the rest of the team sells infinitely, and it's 100% commissionable credit. You'll see how that works in a minute. And that's why people start asking questions. Wait a minute, you'll see. We'll get there. It makes them, see, understand what I'm doing here. I'm making them think. Wait a minute, how's this possible? They can't help but to watch later to see how they can actually do that. Right, Jack? And that's just how it works. So that's the second way. Volume-based commissions off of personal sales, but also, so even though when I make the sale, I make all the retail profit, I'm also getting those marketing margins. They're called business volume points. Every time I sell something, but also anytime my entire team sells something, as far as it goes, as people lead to people lead to people, I get 100% credit as far as this tracking system can track, and that's infinitely. No tiers, no percentages, no levels. Again, we're not one of those things. Another way I get to throw that in there again, right? Now, the third way we make money, number 3, is what I like to call converting spending into earning. Converting spending into earning, right? Obviously, I'm scribbling this, guys, but you know what I'm saying because I know you can't read it anyway. Converting spending into earning. What I think is important is, watch this. Not only when I or the rest of my entire team, when we buy a product from ourselves, not only this, and I always, right, Gina? I always have a home shopping list with me. But any product and services that falls in any of these categories that I'm already spending money on, not only can I offer this to sell it to someone, but when I buy from myself, from any of the products and services, any of these categories you see here, and you might want to highlight a bunch of them, I'm not only going to be able to buy it from myself at wholesale instead of retail and save the 30 to 50%, but I'm not only saving it and buying it at wholesale versus retail, but I'm also getting the marketing margins to commission me based upon not only what I buy for my own consumption, but what the entire team that I'm connected to buys for their own personal consumption too. We call that converting spending into earning because we get paid the marketing margins that otherwise would have been spent on advertisement and marketing into a commission plan for us by buying from ourselves. And that's the third way you get paid. I'm going to show you in detail how this works from a mathematical standpoint in a minute. But just get those 3 concepts, all right? Now, I do my next line. Right? I usually make it squiggly, but you guys get the idea. Third thing is this, and this is key. You have to add a story here a little bit to how you thought. Think about back how you thought. You were probably like me. When I first saw this, I love the idea, the background, the success of the company. I love the idea of the 3 ways to make money, but I had one problem. One thing held me up, and that was this right here. Volume-based commissions, not only off of my personal sales, but also from team. When I heard the word team or other people or a network or an organization, I immediately thought of something, and you probably thought of it too. And I stopped, and most of the time they're going to say, yeah, pyramid, multi-level marketing, right? Yeah, I did. That's exactly what I thought. I thought this was one of them things. So I usually I thought it was like a pyramid or MLM or some kind of horizontal marketing model. That's what I thought it was. I thought it was some kind of pyramid because I heard team. I thought it was a pyramid or multi-level marketing or the proper terminology for that is horizontal marketing. That's what I thought this was. Now, what I have to tell you is that, and this is what I put here. This is what we're not. Right there. So, background, earn, not is the third area. What we're not. And the only real, and now you have to be cautious here, guys. You don't want to be insulting to people that have experience in direct sales and network marketing, you know? I actually respect them because that's better than trying to, work the 45-year plan in many instances, right? I mean, they're ambitious. They want something more for their life. They're willing to take a shot, right? But I'm going to show you what we're not because here's the thing. Our CEO figured out a way to fix all the challenges of all the things that people think we are and create the solution to them. So this is not only not a part of that industry that you think that I thought it was, but when I saw how this worked, I realized this fixed all the challenges. This was the solution to those things. So pyramid or multi-level marketing, or horizontal is what I thought this was. Now let's talk about some industries that are these things. So what I do is I go over to the far right side of the thing. And I'm going to say, let's talk about things that use this type of structure, by the way, just so you understand it's not just these things. So examples of companies or structures that use a horizontal structure, I usually put a line underneath this one here, is I put in real estate. I put insurance. I put in any type of sales structure. I also put in, and yes, the multi-level marketing and direct sales world, amongst others, corporate structures too. But I wrote the examples here in there, right? Now, we're not one of these things, although there's nothing wrong with them because they all use the same type of model. Let's just cover how that works real fast. I just want to show you what we're not so you can see what makes us different. You guys getting this? So this is my third section, right? So let's just talk about this. In any type of these structures, whether it's real estate, insurance, sales, multi-level marketing, I'm going to use real estate for this example, but we can use any of these models that you want. There's somebody at the top, isn't that true? They're right here. Let's just say this is a real estate broker. And that's a real estate broker. And when this person makes a sale, because they're the broker, they own the company. When they make a sale, they get 100% of all the commission, don't they? Yeah, because they own the deal. They don't have to split with anybody. They're the top dog. So this person's going to get 100% of whatever they sell. They get all the commission at the top. And that person's going to go out and in the real estate world is going to sell as many pieces of property as he can. In the insurance world, they're going to sell as many pieces of insurance as they can. And the car sales, as many cars as a dealer can sell, they're going to do. But one thing's going to happen for any successful person in any of these industries. They're going to run out of one thing they can't get any more of, and that's time. Isn't that true? So if they want to be able to make more money, and that real estate broker could sell on his own, he needs to go out and what? Hire some agents. Isn't that exactly what they do? So now all of a sudden, this broker is going to go here. He's going to start hiring agents on his front line or top line in business. And every single time he hires an agent, when those agents go out and make a sale, do they get 100% of the commission? No. They get a percentage. Why? Because the broker has to get his share. So who knows what it is? Traditionally, in a lot of things, let's just say 50% is what this agent would earn because the other 50% has to pay the broker. You understand? So when the broker is hiring people and he's putting them across the front line in business, the goal is he wants all of them to sell property because the more properties that they all sell, they're making 50, but he gets the other 50%. He's getting his what's called his split, his fee share. So if he's making a percentage off of all these agents, here's the first downside of this model that makes it challenging in most situations. If the broker is getting percentage off of every one of these people he's putting on his frontliner business, how wide of a team does this broker want to build? As wide as he can, right? And that's the first downside in this model, because watch this. Whenever this guy makes a sale, the broker gets paid. But whenever this guy makes a sale, the broker also gets paid. And the wider he goes, the more money the broker makes. But the wider he goes, he also has one thing happen internally that causes challenges. When this person here makes a sale, how much does this person on the front line get paid? Nothing. Because they're on the front line. The only person who gets paid is a broker. And these people across the front line work for the same company, but they're competing with each other in a lot of situations, aren't they? And the broker's making more money by creating more internal competition, if you really think about it. Again, I'm not saying anything bad about this because this is how almost all traditional business works. But that is a challenge, isn't it? Where the more people that come into the company, the more people are competing with each other, it causes a little bit of an internal turmoil, a dog-eat-dog environment, right? Now, and they'll go as wide as they can. Now, in some models of business, like the multi-level marketing direct sales world, but truth be told, this happens a lot in real estate too. For example, Keller Williams. They'll say, hey, well, if you want to make more money, you can then go out. Like you're on the second tier, you can go out and hire some agents, right? But now the percentage just gets even what? Less. So now that third level agent makes less than the second level agent does. The second level makes less than the broker does. And the money always starts from the top and pays down in reduced percentages and levels. The deeper they allow it to get paid, the less people make, the deeper. Does that make sense? Which causes more of an internal conflict. And by the way, if this one person here wants to build more business across the front line, he built his own front line. Now the people he brings in are not only competing with each other, but that's more competition for these guys, other competitors internally in the company. So it creates a horizontal competitive type of structure where all the money, the majority, the lion's share of the money is paid at the top, and it's getting paid in percentage levels from the top down. People at the top make all the money at the expense of the rest. A lot of times down here, people are fighting for the scraps while the people at the top are making all the money. So here's some downsides of this. So I go under here, under the knot, and I put in the downsides, and I write it out. And I write them out. And here's the ones I highlight here. Sit down a little lower. The downsides, and I list them, right? And there's a reason for this, but I'm going to list them. Number one, they always get paid in percentages and levels. And I don't even number them. I usually just put a dash next to it. Percentages and levels in all these type of things. Number two, they're always a top-down structure. Top down, pay top down. Percentage levels, number one, top down is number two. Number three, it always creates a ton of competition. And a lot of times I'll do this. I'll do one of these at the bottom of this here. I'll draw an arrow, and I'll even write competition right here. All these people compete, so the money makes all the guys at the top make all the money, right? A lot of competition. Another thing is they typically only have one product or service, so they're pigeonholed to one marketplace. It's another downside of a lot of these models. And then the last thing is they normally have to do bonuses based upon time periods, time frames. There's other struggles and challenges to these, but that's the majority of them. Got it? Well, what J.R. Reiniger did, a little history lesson, and you give a little history lesson about J.R. He was involved in this industry, became a top earner in a bunch of companies, realized that he was the only one making money. So over an 8-year period, he created this platform. He designed it to fix all the problems, get rid of all these downsides, and I typically circle these. You want to get rid of all the downsides, but keep all the benefits, like working for yourself, from home, part-time, flexible hours, don't have to give up what you're currently doing, and creating a residual income. But he wanted to do that by and creating all the downsides so that the average person can make it, not just crazy successful people. You guys get that? So that's a third way. And you'll learn how to talk through this. The key is you just want to sketch it out. So that's that. Now at this point in time, I don't know how far, I put another line here. Can you guys see the bottom of this pretty close? Yeah, so anyway, the key to this, I'm not going to go into detail on this last part, and you guys can, I have another video that has it, but so what he did is he created a model that completely fixed it. The solution. It's called vertical, whoops, I usually use with the black. It's called vertical marketing. Vertical marketing. Over an 8-year process to fix it and create a model that fixed all the challenges in those horizontal marketing structures. In vertical marketing, here's what we do. Now watch how I draw this, guys. I put a picture. This is you, just like you'd be up here. And whenever you make a sale, no matter if you're at the beginning or not, all the retail profit, remember I said up here, you make 100% of the retail profit from the beginning. No percentages, no levels, no tiers. Just like if you own the deal, you get all the retail profit. No matter if you start now or 10, 20 years ago, right? But when we build teams here, that's how we create leverage. See, up here, you create leverage by building teams at percentage and levels. The only way to create leverage in all business is to build teams of people. But with us, instead of putting people across the front line horizontally where they're competing with each other, we put them in verticals where they work together. Now watch what I do. I just draw this a little differently. I actually go far out and then down with a small arrow, far out, and then down with a small arrow, just like that. You see it? And I put 2 people here. We put in 2 people to start building this business, but if I know more than 2 people, I'm not putting them horizontally, competing with each other. I am actually stacking them in verticals. Down verticals. So if I know more than 2 people, guess where they go? In business with each other instead of horizontally in competition with each other. That's the first thing that makes us different. So right over here, I write those things out. Now watch what I do. We work vertically instead of horizontally. So now we put people in collaboration instead of competition. So this is what I do. I take my off-colored pen here, and I put a line through the competition. You see what I'm doing? I'm eliminating the challenge of the prior thing, and I get rid of competition in both areas. See, the guy wanted the J.O. Ryder, CEO of the company, wanted to keep all the benefits of the home-based world, but get rid of the downsides. So get rid of the competition. That's number 1. The second thing is we don't get paid in percentage and levels. So I'm going to put a line through the percentage and levels. No percentages and levels. Second thing is we get paid 100% to infinity of all the volume that's generated. So as people lead to people, lead to people, lead to people, whoever makes the retail sale is the only one who gets a retail profit. But the business volume points, remember the marketing margins I talked about, those BV points? That credits everybody 100% from the bottom to the top instead of percentage and levels from the top down. So underneath 100% infinitely, I also put bottom to top instead of top down. So I go back up to those downsides and I get rid of the top down. You guys see how I'm eliminating the objections that are part of those things? And they're seeing it. It's like visibly, like boom, boom. Now here's the thing. If people have had experience in multi-level marketing, when I list these things out there, their stomach hurts a little bit. Because they remember, right, Miriam? They remember all these things happening to them. And they remember the times they wanted to, maybe not be happy, right? Right? And this is like, uplifting to them, to line these things out like never again do I have to have that happen to me, right? Top down, we get paid bottom up 100% credit instead of top down in percentages and levels. So as people lead to people, whoever makes sales gets a retail profit, but those commission points, the volume-based commission points, the BVs, credit 100% from the bottom to top, and every single person to infinity gets 100% credit for all the volume. And then you give an example. If this person down here, sold 5 of these bottles and it was $200 in retail and $140 wholesale, they're the only ones who make the $60. Let's say 120 BV. 120 BV pays everybody 120, 120, 120, 120, all the way back up to you, 120. Again, no percentages and no levels. Infinite search. 100% infinite. Bottom to top. Here's another thing. Remember I said up here, one product? Well, we're a product broker. We have over 12 industries with over 2,000 products and services. So we're not pigeonholed to a marketplace that when that product is obsolete, we're going to go out of business. So then I put a line through the one product pigeonholed spot. You see? And then the last part is this. And you don't have to write the broker down here because it's already written up there. Remember, that's why you have it on one page so you can reflect back and forth on this. Now, the last part is the time frame. You can see we eliminated all the downsides of this industry, but the one thing we have left is time frames. We have what's called accrual until we get paid. Accrual. Our volume accumulates in stores day to day, week to week, and also month to month. We have no time periods. And you line through time periods. And this is the key. You always have to use. It's not a matter of if we're going to get paid. It's only a matter of when. It's going to accrue and store until we get paid. So we accrue. Now there's one more benefit that's so different that there's no contrary to this in those other things either that I have to throw in here. It's called placement of people and volume. So under the accrual, I put in that. And by the way, when I get into the accrual, I say that volume and this is where I put the banks in. When we start the business, we have these banks on the left and right side of this center here. And I draw the banks in. And the volume that our team does infinitely. Now, by the way, remember, even though I'm bringing in two, guess what? These people are going to bring two people in. So watch this. They're going to have a second person. And that person's going to have a second person. You notice how I'm only going inward, so it doesn't take as much of a pyramid structure when I'm drawing it out like this? It really helps overcome that objection, right? This person's going to have a second person. This person's going to have two people. This person's going to have two. You know what I'm saying? It's more. So the outside vertical, and they grow. But no matter what happens, 100% of all the volume that happens on the left and right side is accruing in these banks towards overrides. It's accruing until I get paid. But I can to infinity. And it's accruing no end of month, but watch this. What if I know more than two people? I'm placing them, like I said, on these verticals. But I also have an opportunity to place my points down underneath them either. So let's just say I'm here, and I have 400 BV to buy for myself. Every quarter, I'm allowed to designate one person that's on either my left or right side, and I'm allowed to give them all my points. So I can take all 400 points and place them all the way underneath the deepest person I put in here, Jack. Give him the 400 points. I'm the one who sold it. I'm the one to make the retail profit, or I bought it for myself and saved it by buying it at wholesale. But I still can place those points at the bottom because, again, this is a bottom-up model. So I give all my points down the bottom and all 400 points, credit everybody, but they still come back up to me 100% anyway. There's nothing in the world that does that. Do you see that? I take the points that I sold, that I created, give them to the deepest person that I brought in, and all 400 points, credit everybody all the way up there. We share the volume. This is synergy. This is unity. This is what brings everybody together. You know? We see out there in the marketplace, all these people have different opinions, how to bring people together and all these different opinions. To me, there ain't nothing that brings people together like this. 100% credit to infinity, baby. Right? You know, this could change the world. Right? So then all of a sudden, that's what happens. Because we can place people. So at this point in time, guys, all I do at this point is this. Right? Let me show you how we get paid off all this volume. Because you see how the people lead to people. Everybody in here is what? Buying product for themselves and the categories they need to buy product from anyway. Volume's flowing up. It's accruing until we get paid. No end of month. People lead to people. We don't know who's going to want to do it, who wants to be a customer. And we're looking for thresholds to pay us. Now, what I normally do is I go over here and I do the thresholds. I draw it out. This is it's called an 001 center. By the way, up here, you have to apply for $129.95. You have to figure out what you want to buy, or I don't even go through the whole entire thing and give them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They'll see that at the official prediction. I say apply for $129.95. I have to purchase 200 minimum BV of product to qualify the business. That's what gets the banks here. And then I have to activate with the two people, start building the team. And all the volume that I sell and the rest of the team sells and uses is accruing towards these thresholds. And then I just put them in here. When I hit 1,200 on the left, right side, I get paid a $300 check. 24, $300 check. 3,600, 24, 30. Final 5,000 is a $600 check. That's one pay cycle and it accrued. And I use my example at this point. For me, it took me 3.5 months to get there. If I was in anything else out there that only gave me a month period, every month they would have taken my volume away. And anything else out there, in 3.5 months, I'd have quit. Because I would have been the sacrificial lamb losing my volume so the people at the top can make all the money. In this business, 3.5 months, I was ecstatic. You know why? Because I made $1,500. I was ready to roll. At that time and that time only is when I went back to zero. But now I'm starting the second cycle myself. Now I have a handful of people on both the left and right side that I get what percentage of the volume again? 100%. How far? To infinity. It took me 6 weeks the second time. See what happens, this happens faster and faster and faster until eventually you're going through all 4 of the thresholds every week, which is $1,500 a week. Right? And you can go as far as you want at this point. You can say, no, and then we have IBV. You can put an extra bank on here if you want. But you don't have to go that far. This is a first look. You can stop there and say, that's pretty much it. So to highlight it, this is all the benefits. Nothing like this. And from what you saw so far, do you see something here worth looking into further and really understanding this deeper? Most of the time, it takes people 2 or 3 times for this all to come together. But are these benefits enough for you to look deeper in either for yourself or someone you know, either way? And that's pretty much it. Got it? And that's how I sketch it out. Now, again, you guys won't use as many words as I did because as you do this and practice it, my challenge to you that are watching is you want to do this for yourself and then you follow it up within 2 days maximum where they see the PowerPoint and that helps them clarify opening it. Or you could show it the first time with a PowerPoint and then show it the second time with drawing it out, because I always tell people, if you see it both ways, it clicks. But if you see it the same way over and over again, you miss some things. That's another reason why it's important to learn how to sketch it out. Because I either am going to show it the first time sitting down like this, follow up with a PowerPoint, because I always say you have to see it 2 to 3 times minimum for all to sink in. And you have to see it a couple different ways because it's not complicated. And when you understand it, you'll realize, wow, I can't believe I get it right away. But it's small, simple things that are stacked on top of each other. But here's the secret of this whole thing. You finish it up. Say, I'm going to get a professional. See, why I like doing this first time, because I'll say, now I want you to see the professional presentation with the slideshow. That'll make all this come together and make sense. Now, the funny thing about it, and I want to tell you guys this up front, is when you share this with people, if they see it drawn out the first time, right? If they see it drawn out the first time, they always are like, the second time they see the PowerPoint, man, that really made sense with the PowerPoint the second time. But if you do it with the PowerPoint the first time and draw it the second time, they're like, man, that drawing out was so much easier to understand than the PowerPoint. It's just however they see it the second time, they're going to get it better than if they got it the first time. Don't be hindered by either way. It's just how it works, you know? So it's not like, oh, one way is better than the other. It's not. I like both. I just have more fun when I draw it out because I don't get, see, here's why. There's certain things in the slides that sometimes as I'm going through the presentation, I realize that it went down a rabbit hole. I don't need to talk about something. I already talked about it. And I got to either ignore it or address it or skip over it. But when I'm drawing out, I can just go with the flow and have fun. And I don't have anything on the slides that's distracting me or them to go through it at that point. So again, it doesn't matter how you do it. The number one reason why we did this video, though, is because of this, guys. I want you to learn how to draw it out and sketch it by practicing it every single day to yourself until you fill up an entire notebook with 100 presentations that you did to yourself or to other people. Once you can sketch it out on a notepad like this, you can show it any other way in the world. And you can do it at a whim, in an instant, and also you can make it, you can do a 5-minute presentation like this too. Because some people say, man, I've been involved in network marketing. Man, I heard about this company. You know, actually I saw a plan years ago. I remember you had product. They remember everything. They just needed to see the numbers. And I could just go, oh, here it is, bang, 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 infinite search accrual, 12, 24, 36, 5,000, sketch it. I have it that ingrained in my head that I don't need a slide or presentation. But here's the thing that comes with that. You have all the confidence in the world. When you can sketch it out, that's the biggest armor that you could ever have in a business. When you know how to sketch it out, you're like empowered to go out and make it happen. It makes you have confidence and power and swag that you didn't have before once you know that you can create this entire business on a piece of paper without any help. It's like now you're an animal. Now you're an expert. And I'm telling you, it comes with swag that people love to be a part of. So that's that. That's how that works. And then you got, again, there's some other videos on here. But anyway, any questions about that or clarifications that I can help you guys understand? It's so much fun. And by the way, I'm telling jokes through this process. Ask Gina. You know, I just have fun. I'm telling jokes. Because here's the thing. I'm showing this to see if they might know the right people that want something that's different. I'm not trying to get them in. I just want them to see that I'm a good dude, that I'm fun to be around, and we're having fun, and I love the business. And this could be great for someone who's looking because it fixes all the problems that this industry traditionally had. So I'm just having fun, and I'm not worried. At the end of it, though, how I wrap it up is to say, so that's how it works. Thanks for being here. Let me ask you a question. What did you find most intriguing here? That's my first question. What was the best part? What did you find most intriguing or different from other things? Don't say, what do you think? Say, what did you find most intriguing or different? And they answer. Okay, awesome. Yeah, me too. I felt similar things. So let me ask you another question. From what you saw today, do you see anything here worth looking into further for either someone you know or maybe even yourself? Do you see something here worth looking into further for either yourself or someone you know? And see, this is the answer based upon that is whether, and if they say, yeah, I do, great. We have to get back together within 24 to 48 hours, no longer than 72 hours, guys. Never book follow-ups past 3 days out, ever. It has to be, it's like that 72-hour window is like the max you can go. And no matter what they say, you book a time and place in your calendar at that time to get back with them, to get their questions answered. Now, I also send them either an email with some information or at least the video that's a credibility video. Here's why. When you leave from here, right, I want to make sure you're armed and dangerous and you know what we are and what we're not. And I want you to know that no matter what happens, people are going to have opinions, and I want you to know what we are and what we're not based upon different way people will have perspectives on this. There's a little 4 or 5 minute video. Sometimes you can sit there and watch it with them on the spot too, like right there. Let me just watch this real quick video so you can see what we are and what we aren't. And you're arming them to know how to handle it if people are a little not positive, right? So then I do that. I send them some details about the product because I couldn't get into the product, so I'll send them some product videos to learn. But then I'm back with them. Now, here's the key. When we get back together, let me ask you a question. Do you think it would be smart to see how other people are going to respond to this before you have to make a decision to do this or not? This is a trial run, right? This is what we call it. All right, well, listen, before we even get started, let's have you test this out. Let's run this up a flagpole and see if some people salute it, see how they decide. Ask some people to come evaluate this thing. So when we get back together on Tuesday at 7:30, do you think it would be a smart idea to see how other people are going to respond to this before you have to even make a decision? See, I want to prove to you that this is going to work, and I want to see if you're going to be coachable and lead the people. It's kind of like a win-win situation here. So on Tuesday night at 7:30, you feel comfortable having 1, 2, 3 people on to evaluate and give you their feedback? This will help you make a decision for yourself anyway. Just ask them to evaluate. Don't try to get them in. Don't try to convince them it's for them. Just ask them to come give you some feedback and evaluate it. You guys get that? And you coach them and encourage them to have people come over. And also, I also like to try to get them to try a product. So I'll give them a trial size something or have them buy a product. But the key is I got the follow-up. I got them to do that. And the follow-up, to answer their questions, show it to them again, maybe have some other people look at it. And I also want to get them a ticket in their hand to the next event once we're back to that normal. I'm going to try it every time I show the plan, guys, unanimously. When there's something to sell. Right now, there's nothing to sell because there's, because of the COVID thing. But right away, we're going to the most important glue to this whole thing is getting people live and in person to see a training. So I'm going to make an attempt to get them to commit to go to a training and buy a ticket on the spot there. Everybody won't do it, but I'm going to make the attempt for sure because that's the great divide. That's the great divide. So that's how I wrap it all up. Any questions? Yeah, Jack. By the way, you guys notice something? Like I taught how to show it in faster than I usually take to show it with the PowerPoint. Do you guys get that, what I just said? I usually, right, Gina, I can get through drawing this out in 30 to 40 minutes, 45 at the longest, right? And if all those slides sometimes, we get caught talking about all of them, we can be an hour and a half in, not even realizing it. This is a great way to do it because it shrinks it down, but most importantly, it builds that confidence. And man, I love it because I can have so much fun and I can customize this and just have a complete ball. So go ahead, Jack.
Have you shown this written out online?
Not yet, but here's what I found, and I want to try it. I realized that Zoom on here, like let me show you guys something. So I'm going to stop the recording here. Thanks for being on for this recording. I haven't drawn it online, but I will tell you that Zoom allows you to use a white screen and draw on a white screen. I'm going to show you guys how that works here in a second. But anyway, thanks for being on. Okay.